Welcome to Founders Espresso podcast. Start your day with inspiring stories and actionable tips from founders to fuel your entrepreneurial journey. Sip up and scale up together. Gabriele, thank you for being here and thank you very much and welcome to Founders Espresso.
Thank you to you, Andrea, and very nice to virtually meet you.
Yes. So Gabriele, first question, crucial question. Which one do you prefer, espresso or a cappuccino?
No, espresso, of course. And you know, in Reefilla, we have also part of people coming from south of Italy. So for us, coffee, it's really like
It's a must.
something we worship, and and so espresso for sure.
Nice. Personally, I prefer cappuccino. Actually, I prefer latte. That is super difficult to ask in Italy.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't. You told them I would love to have, because also especially I love cold, both of them. So it's a challenge for for being in Italy. Every time I always trying to explain myself. Okay, I want the coffee, but cold. And also the latte. It's a challenge.
It's another job. Yeah.
Gabriele, can you provide a one-sentence description of your startup and share your long-term vision for its future?
Yeah, sure. I would say that in Reefilla, we're obsessed about bringing energy everywhere. So we want to make it accessible wherever it's needed, and we do that through our battery-based devices, and we try to do it in the most sustainable way. That's why our devices are actually made about second life batteries. Maybe later we can come back to what second life actually means. And our vision is simple, but yet powerful. So create a world where energy is not a limitation, but it's actually a gateway to other possibilities.
Absolutely, super interesting. And where do you see your company in the next year or even 5 years?
Yeah, we want to grow. We want to grow a lot. Most of all, expanding our portfolio of products and expanding also our geographically territory outside of Italy, and so expanding in Europe.
Can you tell me some numbers that you have? I know that you have done a fundraising. Can you give me?
Yeah. We so far probably most important indicator is the number of people that work in Reefilla right now. We started just the 3 of us founder, and now we are more than 10 people working on a project. It's something I'm really proud of. As you said, we recently closed an investment round about 4.5 million euro. That's some funds that will be used in order to grow fast and expand our product portfolio and geography, as I said before. We like to keep it really hard and pushing a lot in order to grow fast.
Nice, amazing. Gabriele, can you tell me what makes your startup unique? So before you were telling this secondary battery life, maybe you can also add this.
Yeah. It's really important to understand what second life means. So second life batteries are batteries that have had a first life on an electric vehicle. Usually when these batteries come to end of its life, when the vehicle comes at the end of its life, batteries should be recycled. But actually there's still some value in it. So maybe they cannot be used anymore for traction of the vehicle, but they still have a value, and we are able, through our technology, to repurpose those batteries into our device, giving them a second life, a second chance. And this, of course, creates a sort of circular economy that makes a win-win solution, a win-win situation, both for the batteries, both for the sustainable, let's say, way of doing things. And it's also a way to decrease cost for our product and for the selling price at the end.
Absolutely, I love it because it's one of those ideas that gather and catch the future value of this economy. So at the end of the day, for sure, we are going to have more needs of this kind of solutions, because we're going to. It's a fact. It's a normal fact that everybody knows that we tend to use more and more electricity energy every year. So this is growing since 90. So I think it's something that you're really catching something really big
Yeah, electrification is coming into every aspect of our life. Okay, we started with regarding mobility in 2021, but right now we are really expanding also the industry. There is the home storage industry. There is all other aspect that is actually creating new markets because electrification is everywhere.
Absolutely, it's strictly connected to the digitalization of our world, and of course, is the cornerstone of every future innovation at the end of the day. Because without storage, electricity, especially storage, is a key point, because in a world that is uncertain in the sense of weather and huge catastrophic.
It's true. And also, if you think about renewable energies. Renewable energy are discontinued by definition. Okay, you don't have sun 24 hours a day, so you have it just half of the day. And so if there is discontinuity, you need a buffer. So you need a storage in order to store when there is the renewable energy, and then use it when there is not. Absolutely. So the discontinuity comes really along with the fact of storage, and that's one of the key things. I believe that the renewable success, so the success of renewable energy, will go alongside with the success of storage.
With Reefilla, actually.
And also with Reefilla, yeah. That's it.
Nice. Gabriele, how did you start your startup, and what was your initial budget?
Well, we can say it started like a joke. Like you can say, like there are 3 engineers and a PowerPoint. It's sort of a joke, but actually, joke aside, we really started with no more than a couple of slides. We started talking with peers, with other people about our idea, and the more we talked, the more we understood that it's something that it might work. There's also some let's say fun fact. We, after some period that we were working on our idea, it was just an idea at the beginning. We found an Italian institution that was ready to give us 500K to start up, to kick off the project. So we were really crazy about that. We have just left our job, and we say, okay, yeah, we already got the money. Yeah? And then from day to night, it all vanished. It all disappeared. And so it was a tough, let's say sort of an Italian story where some budget and then somehow disappear because they need to be directed somewhere else. And looking it back right now, actually, I'm not sure if it was a bad thing or actually a bless, because it taught me one of the most important lessons that I still keep with me right now. That is that when the level of uncertainty is higher, I believe that the lower budget you have, the better it is. Because it helps you to get in the right mood of not wasting money. It sharpens your focus, your creativity, and most importantly, it makes, I believe, the lower budget makes bad idea fail faster. Before they get too big to fail.
Okay? Absolutely. It's super interesting, this kind of frugality concept. I used to work in Amazon, and there was always this this kind of mindset. Even at that level of size as a company, they still keep this kind of frugality, because, as you said, if you have a small budget, you test it fast. You need to test fast because you don't have enough money.
It's a way to survive. Yeah.
Exactly. Interesting. Can you tell me more on this kind of ideation problem? So you had this group of crazy engineer.
Yeah.
You just say you started the conversation, or how was it, like during a dinner party?
No, actually, the 3 of us met during an MBA. An MBA we attended in 2018. Back then we were all working for the same company. It was FCA, now Stellantis, but we didn't know each other. So we were working in different departments, but we met during an MBA, and during this MBA, it was 2020 more or less, and there was this this idea of future electric mobility, and so we were all aware that it was something that we're gonna like coming pretty soon, and we understood that there might be some room for improvement regarding the charging experience. So an electric life, electric driving life. And so that's how the idea of Reefilla started. So to bring energy to the vehicle.
Nice.
And then we got accepted to the first CDP Mobility Accelerator, the Motor Valley Accelerator. And actually, so from that point, it really accelerated everything, because we went from the first MVP to prototype to the first investment in 2022. And yeah, it was really a rush.
Nice, amazing. And what steps did you take to validate this idea? So you were in this accelerator, so I guess probably it was just people pushing you to ask and meet experts in the sector.
We try to make things happen the faster we could. For sure, building the first MVP was crucial, and make people to test it. It was the right thing to do, and it helped us understand how to actually develop the product and the service related. Then feedback, getting feedback, asking for continuous feedback. Of course, it helped a lot. And finally, we were able to launch the product in the market, and everything went on.
Nice, interesting. Hey, Gabriele, if your startup were an animal, what would it be and why?
Well, that's like Bell, the question of Bell.
You are the person, of course. It's for those who don't know, like there is an Italian program on the television that when they ask exactly this question for people.
Nice. Well, the part of our first investors said that when they see us talking and working about the project, they see the eye of the tiger in our eyes. And so I would like to describe Reefilla as a tiger that is really ready to attack any market, and always also able to define and improve yourself, let's say.
Absolutely. As a tiger, you are agile, fast, aggressive.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Gabriele, you were talking before about your co-founders. Can you tell me what made you decide they were the right partner for this journey?
Also awkward story, let's say, because our surname starts all with the letter B. So we ended up in the same group in our first MBA assignment, and that's how we actually understand how to work together, and that's how we also we understand the synergy that really gets us together. And I believe that the way we work, the way we complement each other, is really a successful factor for the success of Reefilla. And that's not something that I just believe, but actually also investors or other partners who have known us, who have seen how we work, they also confirm this thing. I believe it's not just about working together, but it's about growing together and making it does makes all the difference, let's say.
Absolutely, I see. It's interesting because a lot of founders told me that their co-foundership was born like years before at the university. So it's something that I've seen. It's a common thread. In founders, like usually you meet a person, your co-founders during university, during MBA in your case, and it's interesting because it's kind of a way where probably you're not entirely in the professional market, the job market, so you are in this situation where you just want to connect with new people, and that makes you maybe create a stronger relationship since the beginning.
It's true. It's true. It's a good gym for then the actual work that you have outside the school.
That's it. Gabriele, can you tell me a funny story in your entrepreneurial journey that you recall in your mind?
Well, funny story could be the sometime that we recently changed our office, so we moved from a sort of co-working to let's say a more private place where there's just us. And I believe that the people that were back in the co-working with us are right now really happy that we moved, because it was crazy. Of course, we produce products, so we are not just a software startup, so we're really noisy. We make a lot of noise. And so I believe that right now there's more a quiet place over there, and so we moved here in our new office in always in Turin. And yeah, I cannot tell you how many things we just forgot, we just missed, that we can't find it anymore during the move of furniture between one place to the other. Okay, so there is still something that we don't know where it is. So
interesting. You were in the OGR, right, or in another co-working space?
No, it's another co-working space. It's a private co-working, let's say.
Nice. Interesting. Gabriele, who is your favorite entrepreneur, and what makes him or her stand out to you?
You mean in general?
In general.
Okay. I must admit, I'm a huge fan of Elon Musk. So he in the company, everyone knows that, and they challenge me anytime he does something stupid, because of course he also does something stupid. But I'm a huge fan of him, and so I try to get the best of his story and of his experience, and try to also apply it into our job, and the way he approached the problem, the way he thinks about the future.
I see. It's interesting because like for me, when you say, this is my favorite, I don't know, also in a normal casual conversation, this is my favorite actor, people tend to be to critique maybe your choice based on something that this person did in the past. But as I really believe that as a normal person, of course you believe you like something about this person, but also you will have for sure something that you don't like about this person. So
of course it's not superhuman. It's not superhuman. I mean, everyone is flawless and
absolutely. So it's interesting because at the end of the day, you can like Elon Musk for certain things. You can also don't agree with him in another thing. So it's interesting because maybe we should remember more often that we are just human at the end of the day. So
and what really matters is to find someone that inspires you. I mean, if you find someone that inspires you, okay, just have peace with that and let you inspire you, because being inspired, it's what really then motivates you during the day and during your life.
Absolutely. Inspiration is probably the first light of this energy, or the first start of this engine that then is passion and focus and tenacity, all this kind of. So it's I totally agree. Gabriele, imagine this situation. No? You wake up, the day start off bad and keep getting worse and worse, one setback after another. What's the phrase that you tell yourself to keep going?
Well, a particular sentence. Let's say that I try to stay. I try to stay positive, and probably there's one sentence that sometimes helps me, and I read somewhere that when you feel that you're not the smartest guy in the room, you're actually in a good place. And that's something that I experience a lot here in Reefilla. I believe I'm with a lot of exceptional people, and that really thinks fast and makes things happen. And that's something that really makes me want to jump out of bed and go there and kick also what I can do, let's say.
Absolutely. Interesting. Cool. Thank you, Gabriele. What's your most effective strategy for gathering customer feedback, and how has it directly shaped your product development?
Well, right now, if you work in a startup, you know that not putting the customer at the center of any activity, of any process, especially process development, product development, is the best way to get out of business really, really soon.
Yes.
We try to put ourselves in the shoes of our customer. We ask ourselves, would I buy the product? Would I buy the service that I'm making? And we try to be really, really honest about that. We did it, for example, when we launched our charge delivery services. We rented electric vehicles because we couldn't buy them. So we rented and we started using with the only charging possibility of our service. So we really experienced what was the customer journey in order to feel and understand any pain points that may have.
Nice. And then there is a connected question on when it comes to acquiring paying customers. So how your strategy change? Because there is always this, I see as an obstacle, like when you are a startup, there is a first iteration of just getting customer feedback, and then there is a second stage where they need to actually pay you. How did you? Can you tell me more your experience on your first paying customer and how did you get there?
Yeah, it's always. I mean, going from 0 to 1 is the hardest part. Is the hardest part because you really start from not having a customer, then to get the first one. It's the most difficult part. I remember our first customer in Milan using our services. It was a huge reason of proudness for us, and it's still something that each time we are aware, we understand that we get a new customer. It's still a way that something that makes us really happy. We regarding customer, we had to change our approach during the life of Reefilla, because we started with a pure B2C approach. So we had to do a lot with customer acquisition costs, really higher customer. We switch it from a B2B. Right now we are, let's say, 99% B2B. So it changed completely the way we approach customer. The way we need the way to acquire new customer. So that's a kind of a switch that we had to work a lot on it in order to get it right. It was not easy at the beginning.
I see. B2C is more like the dark side of the moon. It's super hard. It's quite challenging for a startup. So I see your.
Yeah, you quickly understand your customer acquisition costs, and you quickly understand if it makes sense, how long it could make sense or not. With B2B, it's more a hidden cost. It's not that there are no customer acquisition costs with B2B, absolutely, but they are more hidden. It's different. Yeah, it's different.
Absolutely. Of course, it depends on the type of business you are in, the type of business model. But yeah, I agree in the sense also from a qualitative perspective. So in the B2C, you need to have numbers. In the B2B, you need to have a quality point of view, no? Because after one client, you get another one by referral.
Yeah, and it's not about how many with B2B. Sometimes it's not about how many customers do you have, but which one do you have? Okay? So it makes the difference, the kind of partner, the kind of customer that you are able to get.
Absolutely. Hey, Gabriele, can you share an unconventional growth hack that works surprisingly well for your startup, especially in the early stage, and what you learned from its success?
Yeah, for example, when we, as I said before, we started with a pure B2C approach. So we had our devices, we call it 𝐒𝐿𝐿, by the way. We call it 𝐒𝐿𝐿. It's an EV charger. And we provided these mobile charging services, okay? At the beginning, of course, we were struggling a little bit in order to make our product, our service be aware, be known in Milan, because we started in Milan. So one day we decided to put our devices in the middle of the center of Milan, near the Duomo, and our devices, of course, you won't, if you find it by the street, you ask yourself, okay, what is that? I mean, it has a strange form, but it's kind of catchy. It's cool. It has nice color. So people start gathering around it, and over the device there were some flyers, and so people got the flyers and they subscribe to our landing page, and that's how it all started in Milan, and it was kind of more a sort of a guerrilla marketing.
I was saying that guerrilla
sort
marketing
of activity, but it worked a little bit. Yeah.
I see. It's interesting because in the early stage, the best approach is physical on the street.
Yeah. Then we are a lot of physical. Yeah, we like physical things.
Yeah, it's I totally agree, because I totally see your approach, because of course you don't need to be on the street actually, but yeah, of course you need to move. So to move physically in
go out of the building and start.
Go out and experience this kind of relationship with your customers.
That's true. That's completely true. Yeah.
You know, Gabriele, it's super interesting because during my university project, I've done a master in Berlin. We have developed this kind of idea. Of course, we didn't continue at that time, of this power strip with the battery inside that was sustainable and charge in peak hours and and it's so interesting because of course Reefilla, it's much more, it's
but the idea behind it is not so different.
So as soon as I've seen you on LinkedIn, I thought, oh, that's a super cool idea, super crazy.
Thank you
successfully developed this, because the problem I believe with this futuristic, I wouldn't say, really bold business model and also ideas, it's that they are very hard to develop, especially when you touch sustainability. I think a lot of people thought, okay, there is this green economy, but in the actual terms, in the actual physical world, there is a lot of challenges to face, because you are still trying to solve problems that, yes, there is a pain, but it's not very strongly felt as it's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it's completely true. You got this specific problem that you mentioned. Then you got the fact that you are dealing with an hardware, and when dealing with hardware makes every kind of difficulty higher, because you have physical things, and so there are some challenges, but we think we are on the good path.
Absolutely. Nice. Gabriele, do you have any books or lessons, courses that have significantly influenced your startup journey?
I actually read a lot, so there are a lot of books that have get along my side during my my life here in Reefilla. Probably someone I already also mentioned, maybe, but for example, From Zero to One, from Peter Thiel, it's one of that. Okay. Then we had also the hardest things about hard thing of Mark Andreessen, if I well remember. There is also the book of how Netflix was born. That is also a really nice book. A lot of book actually.
I hope you have, what is it? You have also this one.
I got the new one, the one for
nice.
Can't remember the author, but the last, the really
huge,
really long one. Can't remember the author, but
I see. Gabriele, can you share a mistake that taught you a valuable lesson and how you manage your emotions during that time?
Mistake or failure. For example, as I was mentioning, we started with a pure B2C approach that actually turned out to be a failure, actually, because we then decided to pivot, to move from B2C to direct B2B. It was not easy. It was tough. I believe that the sooner you get into the mood that sometimes you win and sometimes you learn, the sooner you get into this mood, so it's not actually a failure, but it's a way to learn something. The easy is for you to get out of bad things and bad thoughts and start back in the game. And
Absolutely.
And so I believe it's really, really important to do that. And also another important things that I've learned is that you can have you have to have a plan, a really detailed plan with your goal, with your metrics, so everything that works on a paper or an Excel sheet. But then you don't have to fall in love with that plan, because of course there are some things that are outside of your control that can go wrong, that can go not how you expect it. So you need to be able to just throw away the plan and go for a new one.
Absolutely, super interesting in this kind of vision of fall in love with the process rather than just the results.
Yeah.
I totally agree. You need to do what you do with love, but you don't need to love what you have created.
Yeah.
Because you need to be it's super a tricky one, but with experience you really get this kind of understanding that okay, you like what you're doing, you love what you're doing, you like what you have done, but you are also ready to destroy everything and start.
It's like in life. I mean, sometimes letting go. So let things go. It's the hardest part, but it's it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Very interesting. Thank you, Gabriele. Do you have any daily habit or routine that has positively impacted your productivity and motivation as a founder?
Okay. Let's say that I try to structure my week intentionally. So I try to work 1 or 2 days from home, and the other days in the office. When I work in the office, of course, I fill my agenda with
Meetings,
in-person meetings and working groups and everything. Instead, when I work from home, I try to focus on more, let's say, intense stuff to do, more concentration, everything. The idea is to try to get the best out of the working environment that you are in. So also you use the working environment in accordance of what you're doing. Each morning I try to start with let's say I keep saying myself a non-negotiable 20 minutes workout.
Nice.
Something that I try to do. And then when I go to work to the office, I have this 1 hour commuting travel time, and in this period I try to not working, so no phone calls, but just podcast. I love to hear podcast and about tech news and tech information.
Nice, cool. Unfortunately, you don't have the standard founder routine as a cold shower, because I have usually take cold shower. It's a cliche.
No, I don't have it.
Meditation, cold shower, another workout, another.
No, actually, my workout is more. I wish it would be for some, fitness reason, but it's more for problem with articulation or muscle or everything, or something they have to
lower your pain.
To remove pain.
I see. Gabriele, when you face uncertainty, how do you make crucial decisions for your startup? And are there any specific frameworks or guiding principles that help you navigate those moments?
Also, probably also due to my role in Reefilla as a CFO of the company, when I face uncertainty, as I said before, also I love not to have a lot of budget at my disposal. So I always say that the lack of alternatives actually helps. Okay, when you lack of alternatives actually helps, because it helps you switch from the question what should I do to why should I do it. Okay, so answer the why is really more important than answer to the what. Another rule of thumb is I try to remove the fear from the equation. So I ask myself, what would I do? If I wasn't afraid? So what would I do if I wasn't afraid? sometimes the answer to this question is actually the best thing you can come up with in the moment. I experienced that sometimes fear can be used like a compass that actually guide you where the right choice might be.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's it. Of course, we try also to develop scenarios and assign probability to scenarios and say, okay, what might be the outcome here? Yeah,
I see.
basically those three things.
It's very interesting. You have, I'm starting to gather that founders have this kind of versatility in approaching the negative aspect of life. So it's like in this kind of embracing this kind of this situation, these challenging moments, this fear in a part of their process, and not just an output. Because usually I see that people a lot of take decision based on positive and negative output, but also founders, it's interesting because they approach the negative and positive as a part of the process of understanding, and then take the decision.
Yeah, it's true. You don't have to focus too much on result, but actually on what you learn, on what you might learn. So
it's super interesting. Like founders usually don't focus on the outcome of the output, especially because you cannot see the future. So it's so unpredictable. So you start to realize it doesn't matter what you think about the future alone, but it's important to have this kind of process of doing and try to get to this final outcome. Very interesting.
It's true.
Gabriele, what are the 3 most important personal qualities that have helped you as a founder, and how did you cultivate or enhance them through your journey?
Okay, let's say I think that resilience is something that if you don't have it, you can be a founder of a startup, because everything changed so quickly that you need to be resilient. So speaking about that, also adaptability. You need to adapt to an environment that is constantly changing. And as a third, I would say curiosity. If you are curious about, if you keep asking questions, you want to explore, and you're able to see through challenges opportunities, and that's something that really helps.
Thank you, Gabriele. If you go back to day one, what's the one piece of advice you'd give yourself that would have saved you significant time or stress?
That's a good one. Let's say that it comes to my mind a sort of analogy with an activity that I do a lot recently. I'm a climber, so I climb a lot recently. And so if we could go back, I think I would tell myself that I would say, Gabriele, be prepared. Starting a venture, a startup, it's like climbing a rock wall. So you can stay in face of the rock wall and overanalyzing any possible step you can take, if this grip is gonna hold you or not. But the very important thing is that you start moving and you start going up, because when each step give you a new perspective, a better way, a better understanding of what's ahead.
Absolutely.
And I will tell myself also, be reminded that you're not alone. So there's someone with you that is climbing with you, and so you're not alone. So trust your grip, take the next step, and be sure that the summit is closer than you think.
Nice. So it is, it's recently I'm starting to view this kind of doing stuff with this kind of approach of as soon as you have an idea that it's you like and you want to do it in the fastest way possible. Super soft commitment. You just do, and then you can also pause a bit to reflect on it. But as soon as you put the first step, then doing the second and the third one, it's easier. It's every time easier and easier.
It's like when you say that showing up, if you show up, it's like 50% of the job is done. Okay.
Absolutely. Super true. Gabriele, can you share one thing that you are most proud of?
Yeah, it's funny because it's a question that I'm asking to right now in Reefilla. We are assigning 2025 objective and target to people, and I always ask this question to people working with us, and I think it's a very good question. For me, I think that the thing that makes me prouder is when I see people, the people I work with in Reefilla, actually caring and fighting for something that you have created as a founder, and it's passion transmitted. It's like spirit of sacrifice that goes viral, and it really makes me proud of that.
Nice. I see. I used to work in Amazon with this, and I have this friendship with this ex-colleague. Now it's my ex-colleague, and you can really gather that as soon when you have this kind of situation where you just need to push, and it's super hard. You really feel connected with these people because you are facing the same, you are living the same kind of challenges, and you feel like okay, we can do it.
It's true. It's true, and when when you are like in Reefilla from the very beginning, and you even feel more proud because you really created something that matters.
Absolutely.
Something that moves things. Yeah.
So Gabriele, last question. Can you share your deeper why? So the driving purpose behind your startup, and explain what keeps you motivated on the toughest days.
Yeah, that's very personal and also difficult. I believe everyone has its own reason, and what is true is that for sure you cannot do it if you don't have one. It's very difficult to get past the nights that you spend awake, all the stress, the weekends, and everything. If you don't have something that makes you jump out of the bed every morning, and to me, it's the belief that I'm in the right place in the right time. So, and I couldn't believe I'm a better place to be. And so right now, so for me, it's just the way to get the most out of my time.
Absolutely, I see. Thank you very much, Gabriele. It was a wonderful conversation.
Thank you, Andrea, and have a nice rest of the day.
Grazie.